Thank you very much, and welcome to the 29th Annual Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame, presented by the Florida Council on Economic Education. My name is Nat Dolliner, the Chairman of the Board of the Florida Council on Economic Education. Please go ahead and enjoy your salads while we begin the program. For more than 40 years, the Florida Council has been providing economic and financial literacy education to students throughout Florida. Informed citizens are critical to the future of our nation. They will be better family members, more productive individuals, and better leaders if they are educated in the basics of economics and financial literacy. The Florida Council fulfills its vital mission by training teachers and by supporting the training of teachers in these important subjects. These teachers then return to the classrooms and teach our children. In addition to honoring key business leaders in the Tampa Bay area this evening, this wonderful event provides funding so that the Florida Council on Economic Education can continue its mission. You will hear more about the Florida Council later in the program. But at this time, I would like to introduce and have you please welcome our co-chairs for tonight's event, Stan Levy and Craig Scheer. Gentlemen.
We're in trouble now, Craig. Because we're together. Good evening. Welcome to the anchors of our community, our 29th year of the annual Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame. 29 years, amazing. These awards honor Tampa Bay's legendary Business of Fame Awards. These are hosted by the Florida Council for 29 years. The Florida Council provides economic and financial literacy education to teachers that teach our students. Unfortunately, 29 years ago, it wasn't available for Craig Scheer. The assemblage can relate to that. We're delighted to be here with good friends to celebrate business accomplishments and civic contributions of the new Hall of Fame class of 2016. But before we go on, my attorneys at the table advised me, and relating to Craig as co-chair, you can relate to this, that I must have a disclaimer. And that disclaimer is, Craig Scheer's comments tonight are not the opinions of the Florida Council or myself. A key reason why I'm personally involved is that the funds raised at this event help the Florida Council train teachers and students throughout Florida on economic education. It's important to give back. Craig and I are honored to be both members of the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame and on the board of the Florida Council on Economic Education. Now, before I turn it back to Craig, I'd like to recognize our mayor, Mayor Bob Buckhorn. Will you please stand?
Bob, you're doing a great job in the city of Tampa. Tampa's really become our favorite suburb of St. Petersburg. Bob, I don't know where you're going to be in 2018, maybe Tallahassee, maybe Washington, D.C., or maybe you'll follow the pattern and move to St. Petersburg. Well, Stan, it's always great to spend time with our fellow Hall of Famers, and I welcome in the new inductees to the Hall of Fame family to support the important work of the Florida Council. As the most recent addition to the board, and also a co-chair this year's event, I've gotten an up-close look at just how lean and mean this organization is run and what an impact it makes. Many people may not know that the FCEE only has 3 full-time employees. And the reason I say that is one of the 3 wrote that in the script and wanted me to say they only have 3 full-time employees. They rely heavily on their network of economic education centers throughout Florida, and the expertise of the economic professors and the highly skilled teachers at universities across the state to help fulfill their mission. What's even more amazing to us is that the council reaches over 400 students a year in Florida. That's pretty incredible. And through professional development of teachers, student competitions, and by providing classroom resources, all free of charge to the school districts, teachers, and students they serve. Here to tell you a little more about the FCE's programs is Executive Director David Boyd.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Wow, what a turnout. Thank you so much for joining us tonight to honor and celebrate the class of 2016 and to support the work of the Florida Council on Economic Education. As I'm sure you're all aware, today, Thursday, April 7th, is not only Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame Day, but it's also National Beer Day, National Coffee Cake Day, and National No Housework Day. So hopefully you've had the opportunity to enjoy some of those other fun activities today as well. Responsibly, of course. But what I bet many of you don't know is that the entire month of April is National Financial Literacy. And I have some new information for the state of Florida to share with you from a report released on Monday by PwC. Spoiler alert, it's not that pretty. The key findings include not enough K-12 teachers incorporate financial education into their classroom. Fewer than 10% of Florida K-12 teachers address personal finance in their lessons. Financial education should start earlier. 75% of Florida educators believe financial education should start in elementary school. Teachers believe parents could do more. 70% of Florida teachers feel that it is unlikely that their students are receiving any financial education at home. 4 primary barriers exist. Florida educators cite lack of appropriate curriculum, 80%, lack of qualified teachers, 70%, and lack of take-home materials, 70%, as key obstacles. Additionally, 65% say that financial education still isn't seen as a critical skill for college and life readiness. Teachers want more support. Florida teachers' top request for support in teaching financial education was professional development, that was 70%. And finally, teachers don't feel qualified. Only 33% of Florida educators feel completely comfortable in teaching personal finance. So here we are, in an increasingly complex global and financial economy. The gap between what people know about economics and personal finance and what they need to know is widening every day. Our young Floridians are increasingly responsible for their financial future, yet an alarming number lack even basic economic and financial awareness. And most parents are ill-equipped to instruct their children in economic and personal finance. And too many teachers as well are often unprepared to impart this essential knowledge. The Florida Council is uniquely positioned to help close this widening gap in knowledge and competence and provide teachers with professional development training this survey tells us they so eagerly want and need. Our mission is to train teachers in the fundamentals of economics, free enterprise, and personal finance so that they can prepare Florida's youth, our state's future workforce, and responsible consumers and engaged citizens to succeed in this increasingly complex and competitive economy. Our core principles are built around the multiplier effect. If you effectively train one educator, they will share this critical knowledge with thousands of students during the course of their careers. Hence our motto, train one, teach thousands. Our educator training model helps teachers understand the material, tells them how to teach it, and gives them the hands-on learning tools to make it come alive in the classroom. So how do we do this? We partner with and support 5 centers for economic education across Florida, each of which is passionately committed to empowering teachers in their local school districts with the content, curricula, and confidence to be effective and innovative economic and financial literacy educators. Our affiliate centers are located at Florida State University, Florida State College at Jacksonville, Miami-Dade College, Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, and of course the Stavros Center at USF, right here in Tampa Bay. During the last school year, our partner centers provided first-class professional development training in economics and personal finance to over 2,800 teachers throughout Florida, all at no cost to the school districts and teachers we serve. So with us tonight, I'm going to ask you to applaud again. With us tonight are two amazing directors of these centers. Dr. Dick Puglisi, Director of the USF Stavros Center for Free Enterprise and Economic Education at USF, and Dr. Bill Boshart, Director of the Florida Atlantic University Center for Economic Education. I would like to recognize Dr. Puglisi, Dr. Boshart, and their teams for the tremendous work they do and their commitment to training educators for a combined total of 56 years. Thank you, Dick and Bill. Now we Empowering teachers with vital training and resources to take back to the classroom and implement with their students and fellow teachers is the reason to be of the Florida Council. In addition, the FCE helps educators bring these critical economic and financial education lessons to life by providing an extensive array of engaging classroom programs and resources offered to teachers, again, at no cost. On the screen, you can see our signature competitions and programs, and each one is explained in greater detail in your event booklet. Through funding opportunities, like the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame tonight, as Craig mentioned, the FCE reached over 400,000 students in just the last school year alone through our professional development workshops and classroom programs and materials. Thank you so much to the Hall of Fame community for your ongoing support, and with your continued engagement in this increasingly important mission, we look forward to, together, empowering more and more teachers and students with critical financial education programs. Now I'd like to introduce a special guest who is here to provide a bit of first-hand insight into how our professional development training is brought to life in the classroom. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sherry Valensik, a Sarasota County High School teacher and the FCE's 2014 Florida Economic Educator of the Year.
Well, I must say, you are quite an intimidating crowd. However, you are far less intimidating than a group of high school seniors, first period at 7:30 in the morning in our high schools. So I feel that I'm somewhat prepared to speak to you tonight. Thank you so much for having me, and I am here to share with you my support of the Florida Council for Economic Education, an organization that has been with me for just about half of my career. Today in my economics class, my students and I were talking about the idea of turning points. We were looking at a graph about the earnings of Amazon.com and the Wall Street Journal and comparing that to the earnings of Walmart and TJ Maxx and some other entities. I happen to have a student in my economics class who right now is ranked number 5 in the Florida Stock Market Challenge. And so we're quite excited about the journey that he's been on the last 7 weeks of the challenge. And I asked him to relay to our classmates what was the turning point? Where was it in his buying and selling and trading that started earning him money to earn the 5th rank? When I think about that idea of turning point, I truly think that as my career as an educator, a true turning point for me was beginning my affiliation with the Florida Council for Economic Education. That began in 2003 when I had taught for 13 years, and when I met the Florida Council for Economics Education, I was a much younger, much more wide-eyed first-grade teacher at Venice Elementary School. My affiliation with the organization started literally with a Hershey's Kiss, as I developed a fundraising program at my school where my first graders sold Hershey's Kisses and then used the proceeds to donate to charity and to also fund a field trip that they wanted to go on. I was fortunate that I was honored by the FCEE as being one of the outstanding fundraising programs of the year. And since then, my experiences and my involvement with the FCEE have changed my life dramatically. I went from writing up a short program that I did with my 7- and 8-year-olds to going on to developing more sophisticated economics programs in my classrooms, and most importantly, trying to work those in an age where No Child Left Behind was trying to dictate exactly what teachers added to their classrooms. I felt like a bit of a maverick in my classroom, sneaking in economics with my elementary students here and there. My continued involvement with the SCFC not only brought me additional professional development, but then I had the opportunity to get involved firsthand at the Stavros Center and not only work with consummate professionals who knew content that I did not know, but also work with a breadth of high school and elementary teachers that really challenged me in my skills and my knowledge and how to bring that to my students. So when we talk about turning points, one thing that you need to know about me is that I am one of those middle career educators. The educators that you typically hear of are burnt out and can't wait to retire. And it was because of my involvement with the FCEE that inspired me in mid-career to seek an additional teaching certification and become certified to teach high school social studies. And this summer, I had a turning point in my career when I went from being that wide-eyed first-grade teacher to being a high school economics teacher, and that is where I am right now. So I totally hope that you will continue your support of the FCE and the many, many teachers whose lives you touch that you don't even know. While I was waiting for this program to begin, I calculated that since my involvement with the FCEE, I've taught 618 children and I've led 35 professional development workshops in my school. Your support of the FCE touches so many more lives than even I can quickly calculate in my mental math in my head. So I solely appreciate that, and thank you for the opportunity for being here. And I wanted to just call your attention to the program on page 35. Mr. Simon's ad for his business has the headline, "Success Happens when Preparation Meets Opportunity." And I think I am a great success story of your support of the FCE because you provided me with the preparation I needed to continue my career in the classroom, working with students every day, but also provided me with opportunities that have kept me in that classroom, and I'm proud to be an educator in the state. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Sherry. Thanks for all that you do. That doesn't strike a chord. I'm not sure what does. But Stan, I can't get something out of my mind of what I heard.
His limited space up there, so good. What is it?
David said it was National No Housekeeping Day. My wife's been lying to me all year. She said it's National No Housekeeping Year. Oh well, I'll get over it, I guess. It's not an easy task to be a teacher in today's world. Between testing mandates and pressure from administration, oftentimes teachers are underfunded and overworked. If I can just have your attention, we're getting to the meat of it soon. These are people that will help mold and shape our next generation. These are some of our children's vital role models. The Florida Council wants to support those educators that give more than they get back. The teachers that understand that the day doesn't end with the final bell. It actually begins for most of them. But instead spend their nights and weekends expanding their own grasp of economic and financial world we live in. All for your children sitting in their classrooms. Right now, the FCE would like to give you an opportunity to do something extra for those educators that do so much for your children. So Stan, we're going to do something now. We're going to play school. Not the kind of school you used to play. We're going to play school. I'll be the teacher and everyone out there will be the students. So give me your attention. I want all of you to take out a pencil and find that envelope on your table. In front of you are the white envelopes and pens, and I would encourage you to consider making a special contribution in honor of these teachers. The FCE appreciates any donation we receive, but to give you an idea of the impact your dollars can make, a gift of $500 would provide 6 teachers with an opportunity to attend a professional development training workshop at their local center, or would fully fund the participation of one class of 30 in any of our exciting student competitions. A donation of $1,000 would provide an economics teacher with the resources, materials, and training necessary to teach over 150 students in a year. And if anyone is feeling extra generous, Stand. This evening, a $2,500 contribution will sponsor one of our student-focused programs on a statewide level. So most of you, hold up your hands if you're guests of someone who sponsored your table. Hold up your hands. That's like 400 of you. I'm talking to you 400 people. No more freeloading tonight. Stan and I dropped $5,000 on our table. We're getting the people sitting at our table. I expect all of you hosts to encourage all of your people to fill out your envelope. So to give us a start, Stan, I'm in for 500. Are you?
I'm in.
Stan's in for 500. That's $1,000. We need about $20,000 more to set the record for a dinner in a Hall of Fame history. So please be generous. Please take your chance to help our teachers learn the information to teach our kids. We now ask that our volunteers go around the room and collect your pledges. Fill them out quick so we can get on with the program, and we want to get you out of here on time. And if you'd like to sponsor one of these important initiatives, please just fill out contact information and pledge amount, and the FCE will be delighted to follow up with you as soon as possible. On behalf of Stan and I, we sincerely thank you. On behalf of the children of our state, we thank you. And certainly on behalf of all the teachers and the FCE, we thank you in advance for your generosity.
Let me share with everybody, on most tables, there's a book called Financial Freedom.
We have your attention, please.
Look on your table, you're going to see a book called Financial Freedom. This is a workbook that's prepared by the Florida Council on Economic Education, given to teachers throughout the state of Florida to help them teach students. One page I'd like you to go to immediately, and that's page 19, How to Write a Check. Now, I know that the Furman table and the Reeves table is on page 55 about car ownership and financing. But we'll go from there. But please look at that book. It's a great example of what the Florida Council does for our kids throughout the state of Florida.
Is there a page in there on how to use a credit card?
No. Back then there weren't credit cards. Now they have debit cards. Okay, the Florida Council reaches, as we indicate, over 400,000 students through its teacher workshops and signature classroom programs. Those programs include that Financial Freedom book, but also the Florida Stock Market Challenge that's sponsored by Raymond James every year, the National Econ Challenge, the National Finance Challenge, Econ Poster Contest, and the Governor's Award for Program for Excellence in Economic Education. Please fill out those forms. As we mentioned earlier, the Florida Council only has 3 full-time employees. They sure get a lot done. They're supported statewide by a board of 27 board of directors that couldn't be more passionate and committed to our financial literacy. Would the board members of the Florida Council on Economic Education please stand up and be recognized?
All the board members.
Thank you for all your leadership and passion.
Stan, as you know, the Tampa Bay Business Hall of Fame is a long